time for Travel Smart this morning with Travel Zoo editor Dave Sablier.
He joins us live this morning from Kilkenny in Ireland with a preview of St. Patrick's Day celebrations on the Emerald Isle. Good morning.
Nice bow tie.
Yeah.
Hey, top of the morning to you. Listen, I can only wear these a couple of times a year, Mark. This seems like a good week to wear the bow tie.
I think it was the green jacket last year, and this year it's the bow tie. We'll take both.
Listen, that jacket's on standby, my friend, because St. Patrick's Day just a couple of days away. And I'll be back in Dublin for that big parade day, which is back actually. I gotta say, St. Patrick's Day festivities here across the island of Ireland. They're back after a 3-year hiatus. I think it's one of the first sort of casualties of COVID, March of 2020. With days to go, all these parties across the country were canceled. So after 3 years now, there's buzz in the air. St. Patrick's Day festivities are back. It's going to be a big party.
All right, so tell us about the St. Patrick's Day celebrations. As you mentioned, they're back after a 3-year hiatus. What are you looking forward to?
So here's the beauty of it. Traveling around Ireland is because every region is going to have its own parade, its own themed celebration. I'm in Kilkenny now. Let me quickly tell you about Kilkenny. This is a medieval town. It's about a 90-minute drive southwest of Dublin. In fact, right behind me there, that's Kilkenny Castle. It dates back to 1192. And it's still beautifully preserved. It's a landmark sort of destination for folks. You can walk in there, Victorian furniture, tapestries, just a beautiful snapshot of that medieval history that Kilkenny is famous for. 2 Michelin-star restaurants in this town. Condé Nast Traveler called Kilkenny the most friendly city in all of Europe. So definitely worth coming out here for a couple of days. Plenty of charm. I'm at the rooftop of the Pembroke Hotel, the place you want to stay coming to Kilkenny. But as you mentioned, Mark, every different city in Ireland will have its own St. Patrick's Day celebration. It's not just a one-day affair. It's about a 5-day party beginning on a Wednesday, going all the way through the weekend. I'll be back to Dublin for that party there. The theme this year is Connections, which is particularly, I think, well-suited for the fact that we're now bouncing back after the pandemic, exiting our COVID cocoons, if you will, and travel to this country, and much of Europe is back. I gotta say, just last week, Ireland dropped all its COVID restrictions and requirements. You don't need a COVID test to get here. You don't need proof of vaccination to get here. You can go into the pubs without having to show your CDC card, which you did just a couple of weeks ago. So wide open, as far as restrictions are concerned. This country's got a 93% fully vaccinated rate, so particularly high. I think only Portugal is at that level as well. So that high vaccination rate is definitely drawing a lot of Americans out here right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good to know. So you landed in Dublin. What did you see there?
So I got here yesterday morning, and I went right over to the coastline. Dublin sits on Dublin Bay. It's a UNESCO biosphere, by the way, because of all the wildlife there, and the only UNESCO biosphere on the planet that includes a large cosmopolitan city, the city of Dublin. But along the coast, along Dublin Bay, you've got these great little villages or fishing towns. I visited Howth, Howth, met my friend Shane there from Shane's Howth Adventures. We had this delicious chowder at the Brass Monkey. So all these local seafood restaurants are popping up here. So it's a great destination. This is, by the way, that little town of Howth is where the Vikings landed back in 841 AD to found the city of Dublin. And today, of course, it draws a lot of people, not only to the city as a great shopping and diving destination, but for those great open beaches, open space destinations there right on the East Coast there. You just love my day. And a lot of sunshine, too. I couldn't have prided myself on saying that I brought some California sunshine over here, and people were very happy about that.
Gabe and I share this Santa Barbara connection. Have you been to the James Joyce in Santa Barbara?
I have been to the James Joyce, actually, a couple of times. And that's sort of your quintessential Irish pub right there on State Street in downtown Santa Barbara. A lot of that going on in this part of the world, as you can imagine, as well. James Joyce, though, interesting story. One of the beloved writers of Dublin, of Ireland, and his very famous book, Ulysses, celebrates 100 years this year of its publication back in 1922. And we may not all have read it. It's 730 pages, 250,000 words, but considered probably the greatest piece of literature of the 20th century. Sweeney's, I visited Sweeney's actually yesterday, one of a few spots. In fact, I think it's the only spot in Dublin that's mentioned and referenced in Ulysses that is still open. It used to be a chemist's shop. Now it's a place where people go and they do these James Joyce readings. They buy Ulysses in multiple different languages. sort of a literary destination for a lot of Americans and people around the world who love not only Ulysses but James Joyce and a lot of these great Irish writers, of course, that a lot of us know and love.
Well, we like the tips. I think we like the bow tie just a little bit better too. Gabe, always good seeing you. Travel safe, and we'll talk to you next time.
Nice little escape for us this morning. For more, including Gabe's Travel Zoo destination deals, visit travelzoo.com/TV.
9:35 is the time this morning. So